Real Talk with Jill. Today we'll be diving into a very important topic, yet so often misunderstood: self worth. Have you ever felt like you are not enough? Or maybe no matter what you achieve, something still feels missing? Hmm. Well, yeah, it happens, and you're not alone. So let's talk about what self worth really is and why it's absolutely essential for your personal growth and happiness. So, first, what is self worth? First off, let's clear something up. Self worth isn't about what other people think about you. Self worth is not about your job title, not about your relationship status, or how many people get to like your post on social media. Self worth is knowing deep down that you are valuable just as you are. It is about recognizing your worth, what comes from within. Self worth is your worth just as you are. Okay? So you don't need external validation to know that you matter. And this is where many of us, especially women, struggle. We've been conditioned to believe that our values depend on what we accomplish or what other people see or because of our marital status. But that's not true. That isn't what self worth is. And there's a misunderstanding or misconception about what self worth means. People often confuse self worth for self esteem. There's a difference, okay? Because they often get confused a lot. Self esteem is how you feel about your abilities. It's you try to perform in different areas of your life. So, for example, you might feel comfortable with your skills at work, or you might feel great after nailing a project or getting praised or something. Okay, but here is the thing: self-esteem goes can go up and down. It can be elevated and it can drop as well. If you fail at something, you might feel like you are not good enough at that. And that's where many of us start doubting our self-worth. Okay, so self-esteem makes you doubt your self-worth through what happens to you. Okay, whether you succeed or you fail, your value doesn't change. Your self-worth doesn't change. Your self-esteem might be touched, but your self-worth doesn't change. Self-esteem in a relationship, let me use a relationship as an example. Self-esteem in your relationship, imagine that you're in a relationship where your partner always compliments you often, telling you how beautiful you are, how smart and caring you are. Compliments makes you feel confident and loved, right? So in a case where your self-esteem is boosted, in this case your self-esteem is boosted. Okay, so in a case where your partner um stops giving you compliments, or he says something negative about you, or gives you negative feedback about yourself, or maybe something happens to your relationship, your confidence might just hit the rock. Your self-esteem goes up when you are being validated and by your partner, and your self-esteem comes down when it's no longer there, right? But self-worth doesn't. Even if your partner keeps stop complimenting you, or he keeps complimenting you, that doesn't matter. It doesn't determine who you are. All right, are you understanding me? You don't need validation to feel good about yourself, because your sense of worth comes from inside of you. Whether you are um your partner is expressing love, admiration, praises, showering you with gifts and praises and compliments, You should still believe that you deserve love, you deserve respect, and you deserve kindness. Okay? Maybe your self-esteem might be a little bit dampened, but your self-worth doesn't change. All right? So I'm sure that that is clear enough. Now let's be real. Many of us struggle with self-worth, especially after feeling rejection, failure, or maybe a broken relationship. Maybe you've been told you were not good enough, or maybe you've experienced things that made you doubt your value. I've been there. Trust me. If you know my story, you'll understand why I am telling you that the truth is your past mistake doesn't define your worth. Neither does what someone else think about you. Your value isn't in what people say. It's inherent. Okay? It doesn't define what people say about you doesn't define who you are. Alright, so believe that. So how do you start building your self-worth in case you feel like your self-worth have been tampered with? It begins with the way you talk to yourself. If you are constantly telling yourself, I am not good enough, or I always mess up things, or you keep going and saying things negative about yourself, then you believe it. But here's the thing, the words you say to yourself matter. Start telling yourself you're worth it. Start seeing the reflection in the mirror and telling that reflection in the mirror that she's valuable, she's beautiful. All right, self worth is the foundation of everything else in your life: confidence, resilience, even the way you make decisions. When you know your worth, you stop settling for less. You stop accepting things that don't align with your values, whether that's in your career, relationship, or even your personal goals. Yes, it does affect personal goals too. So now, I want to encourage you to take a moment and reflect. What's one thing you love about yourself today? It could be anything, your kindness, your creativity, your ability to overcome challenges. Mine are three of them. That's why I mentioned these three. Okay? I love three things about myself. Okay? So drop a comment below because it's time that we start celebrating ourselves for who we really are and not what people think or say about us. Time to take your self worth to another level. Practice loving yourself first. Self worth is yours, and no one can take that away from you.